First, Hillsborough County's transportation referendum was on the ballot. Then it wasn't going to count after a judge said the language was too confusing. But then an appeals court reversed that decision. You confused by this? Well, legal experts say that's the problem here. And you're watching 10 Tampa Bay at 6. I'm Dave Wagner. As 10 Tampa Bay's Eric Glasser reports now, no matter what happens, Hillsborough's transportation tax is likely to face another entirely separate court challenge.
Well, the big issue is that the supervisor of elections office here in Hillsborough County did what a judge ordered them to do. Last week, they posted notices online, added those same notices to outgoing vote by mail ballots, and told folks at the early polling sites that votes on the Hillsborough 1-cent transportation referendum would not count because a judge had deemed the language of that referendum to be misleading. A stay put it back on, then off again when that same judge issued a full ruling. County commissioners then voted to appeal, and the appellate court said while it decides whether to overturn the lower court's ruling, the ballot measure is back on. Experts in election law say this whole legal back and forth, plus the fact that some people who might have otherwise voted on the referendum ignored the ballot measure after being told it would not count, likely means that the losing side here will appeal, arguing the whole process was unfairly fouled up.
It gets a little confusing with all the people in charge arguing back and forth of what is or isn't appropriate.
What they can claim is they could say, hey, look, this was off the ballot, now it's back on. People who would have voted against this were under the impression that it wasn't no longer on the ballot.
Karen Jarosh is the local activist who brought the lawsuit against this particular referendum. She has until tomorrow night to respond to the latest appeal. Meanwhile, our legal expert Patrick LeDuc says this is now a mess apart from the merits of the ballot language. LeDuc's advice is that if this issue is important to you, go ahead and cast your ballot. That way it'll be recorded while the courts hash this out. In Tampa, Eric Glasser, 10 Tampa Bay.
And attorney Patrick LeDuc says there have been occasions in the past where a referendum was struck down, but still appeared on the ballot because it was too late to remove it. He does not recall a situation like this, where the issue was still being hashed out even as people were headed to the polls to vote on it.